Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and Part 8 to What If Clara Survived. Before we get into it, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, all the Google Docs, as well as everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around and turning on all Omniversal notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comment section. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time, with Rick, Clara, Carl, Michonne, Jesse, Gabriel, Sam, and Ron all in the house, but with a bunch of differences, obviously, and character development and so on. The group in the house, it's done a little bit differently, like I said, with some add-ons, but overall, Deanna still dies, and the group comes up with the guts thing. Except Ron doesn't start anything with Carl or anything. So, remember, he wants to kill Clara and even his own mother. So, yeah. Anyways, they come up with the guts plan, and Father Gabriel offers to take Judith. But Clara wants to go with, because she, like I said, her and Rick are closer than any variation of them. And they're more closer than ever before, especially at this time. So if she can do anything to help in the situation to get these walkers out of Alexandria, then surely it's going with Rick's daughter. And yeah, Jessie says that she's going too. She tells Sam that they're both going to go with Clara and Father Gabriel. Sam persists in wanting to stay because Sam, but he's kind of outvoted here. So yeah. Ron says he'll go too to protect his mom and Sam. But not 2 seconds into them getting towards the house in which they're going to go, everybody else that's there, Rick, Michonne, Carl, they see Ron begin to pull a gun from behind him. And they instantly know what Ron's going to do. And they can't afford to let this go bad or for him to kill Clara or Jesse. They know what Ron's planning. So, Michonne stabs him just like cannon. But the gun still goes off. It shoots right into Carl, and Carl gets shot right in the eye. And then Rick gets all angry and starts attacking the walkers. Noah returns with Enid and starts fighting him off, but he then starts to get cornered. But then Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl with the rocket launcher come in for the save, and with all of Alexandria banded together, plus add-ons, the walkers are taken out. Afterwards, Maggie talks to Noah and asks him where Glenn is. But she breaks down, sobbing and flailing and completely heartbroken when she finds out what Glenn did for Noah and for all of them. It breaks her. But this is the first time in probably any story that I've ever done where Glenn wasn't killed by a person, just walkers. So, you know, I'm not saying that's any easier of a loss for Maggie, but it is different. But Beth is alive and goes to comfort her sister because she knows more than anyone what it's like to lose a lover in the apocalypse. And she knows exactly what Maggie is going through. Jesse and Rick get to talking, and Jesse thanks Rick and Clara and the Grimes family for saving her and her son. And she knows that Ron, just like Pete, they had to be put down. And she looks over with Rick as Clara is knelt to where Carl is healing. And Jesse tells Rick, you chose a wise girl to save. You guys are definitely suited for each other. And with all that said, 2 months go by. And Rick and Daryl meet Jesus, and while they're trying to get the food truck and everything, but Michonne and Tyrese are there. So with add-ons, just like the Eastman story and a few others, this means the food trucks are not going to drown in the lake. So they have way more food than in canon. And just overall stuff. And then Jesus tells them all, probably walking in on Rick and Clara at this point, if they would be getting serious like Rick and Michonne did. And Jesus would walk in on them most likely and tell them of Hilltop and that whole thing and the Saviors. And then we get Ethan returning to Hilltop, stabbing Gregory, and then getting killed by Rick himself. And then Maggie makes the deal with Gregory about getting half of their stuff if they killed Negan and, save them and everything. Except Beth's there too, and tells Gregory, "You be wise to make this deal with my sister. She just lost a man who's more important to him than anyone on this whole earth. I hate to see you end up on her bad side, because you don't want that." So Gregory has no choice but to abide, much more so than in canon. So they get to the outpost, and everything goes the same. They kill the Saviors in their sleep, except they're able to get more of the job done. And Primo's captured, and then it's figured out that Carol and Maggie are captured, along with Beth and Noah. But Tyrese comes in for the save, surprising all of them. And with the numbers game being way more in Rick's group's favor, Maggie, Beth, and Carol are able to get the upper hand with Tyrese's distraction, and along with Noah also helping, and they got this in the bag. And then Rick kills Primo whenever he says he's Negan, and that all goes the same. And then Abraham and Eugene have their disagreement when they find the bullet factory. We end up with Rosita, Daryl, and Denise, and that whole argument, and Denise being herself, her getting arrowed in the eye by Dwight getting bit in his unmentionables by Eugene, Carol running away because she doesn't want to endanger anybody, leaves the note for Tobin, it gets encountered by the Saviors on the road, leading to Rick and Morgan going after her, and Daryl wanting to go off to avenge Denise. But our group this time is different. Daryl, Rosita, Noah, Tyrese, and Michonne are there to go instead. The group is a little bit different, with Noah and Tyrese replacing Glenn and whoever else went, more or less. Forgot the last person who really went. But that doesn't matter. What matters is it still ends up the exact same way. So Dwight captures, with the rest of his Saviors, Daryl and everybody else. And Beth comforts Maggie even more, cuts her hair for her, but then Maggie's pregnancy starts to affect her. And it's figured out that Clara is experiencing some sort of pain herself. But that's impossible. Her and Rick didn't really get together like that much. I mean, they did probably a little bit, but she's getting affected the same way too. So they all prepare to get in the RV to go to Hilltop. And Beth goes to make sure Maggie is okay. Clara, who's going to take care of her? Well, Jesse says that her and Sam will go to take care of Clara. So it's set. And then they encounter the Saviors on the road at every single pass and turn. And then all leading up to the lineup. Now, how is the lineup going to go this time with no Glenn and a few extra people? Especially, Jesse, Sam, kids, like that kind of lineup. How will it go this time? Will it go the way that the original story went? Or is it about to turn much darker than it really has since the beginning of the story? Or is it really no big deal and the lineup is just, something to easily forget about in the sense of the story? And what is going to happen as we start closing closer and closer to the end of Clara's survival?
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!